Okay, y'all, welcome to Tuesday night Best Buy Plexus Zoom call. My name is Datha. Everybody should probably knows that. And we're so glad to have you on this call tonight. We've not had a Tuesday night Zoom call since the holidays. So I'm so super excited to get it back going and get in the habit of having these Tuesday night Zoom calls. Before I forget, the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is next Tuesday night, put it on your calendar. The graphic will come out tomorrow. We're going to have a testimony Zoom call next Tuesday night. This will be a Zoom call that you can invite customers to and potentials to. We're going to get a wide range of testimonies. If you have a testimony and you would like to leave your testimony, please message me. I'm getting the list together of testimonies. We want a wide range of testimonies, everything from weight loss to if you're off meds, if you're sleeping better, if it's helping with fibro, if it's helping you have a baby. I hope it doesn't help me have a baby. But whatever that is, we want to get that together. So the graphic will be coming out soon where you can send it to your potentials. So I wanted to say that before we jumped into tonight. I'm super excited about this recap and hearing. I love hearing from different people because you know as well as me, you can hear something and everybody perceives it different. So I'm super excited to hear that. I do want to briefly touch on something I did today and really, really validate to you guys that we are in the right company at the right time. And if you're like me and you've never been in an MLM, who's never been in an MLM? So quite a few. Okay, y'all are going to love this. You might have seen my Facebook page. I met with a customer of mine today who is at the top of the company with Unique Makeup. So she's in the top of the company. Y'all heard of Unique Makeup? I have their lipstick on right now. I have bought from her and she buys from me. She hit the top a few months ago. So we thought it would be fun. We've never met. We're Facebook friends. I take that back. This is how I met her. I bought something off of Craigslist from her before I started Plexus, and I friended her on Facebook because I was kind of a friender before Plexus. So she lives on the other side of town. If you're familiar with Birmingham, she lives in Chelsea. So we met at the Summit at Panera and had a 2-hour lunch where I told her about our comp plan, and she told me about her comp plan. Y'all, she's at the top of her company. She's a Black Elite presenter. She said she makes about $90,000 a year. She said, how much do the diamonds make in your company, Datha? Man, did I feel good. About $440,000 a year. Her mouth like dropped on the table. Then I told her about pay points. Her mouth dropped on the table. They don't have pay points, y'all. They don't have pools. They don't have pools like our emerald, sapphire, diamond pools. They don't have pools. They don't have a car stipend. I said, what do you have? They have commission 3 levels deep. And you know what she said? She said, maybe I should join Plexus. And I'm like, high five, girl. I'll sign you up right now. Now, I didn't go there to sign her up. I went there so I could talk about, we could brainstorm and I could see what she was doing and she could see what we're doing. But she's blown away by Maui, by everything. She's completely blown away. And she really validated from somebody that's at the top of the company. So I told you that because if you know someone, have someone on your friends list. Y'all, it's important. Buy some lipstick from a makeup person. Buy some of those crazy looking leggings from a leggings person. We talked about that too. It's okay. It's okay to make those connections. Go to lunch with them. You know, because if a Black status elite person is going to tell me maybe I should join Plexus, what if it's somebody that just started out and doesn't realize how our comp plan compares to theirs and is willing to switch to our company? Because our comp plan, I've heard it, you've heard it, it's better than everybody else's, but I had no knowledge of anybody else's. I could hear somebody say it all day long, but to sit down with a top Black elite that's like our diamond, it's the very top in the company, and her to tell me this, every bit of money they make is on commission. Commission. And we have like commission plus, I mean, that's just a small part of how we get paid. So I was completely blown away and just validated to me that our company does have the best pay plan. So super, super excited about that and wanted to share. So maybe write that down in your note. Maybe you have a friend or Facebook friend, a family member that is in another MLM, and it's okay to go to lunch and share and buy and talk and just see, because you know what? She asked me this question. She said she has a photography business, and I asked her why she hadn't gave it up. And she said, well, just in case something happens with Unique, I want a backup plan. And she said, do you think you're really going to make it to Diamond? And without hesitation, I said, absolutely, yes. I don't need a backup plan. This is my plan. This is what I'm doing. I know it's going to work. So I just want to share that with y'all before we get started. Okay, so we're going to get started talking about Super Saturday. I've heard from a lot of you already, just with phone calls, about how amazing it was. Birmingham was Super Saturday is usually really energetic. In Birmingham, because we were fighting an ice storm, was not quite as energetic when you have 900 tickets sold and like 150 people are able to show up. But the information was stellar. So watch the video. When it comes out and that's available to us, the 4 hours, that's a lot of video. I would say just watch it in small chunks because they kind of break it up. So we're just going to touch on the high points. Just because you're listening to this tonight doesn't mean you don't want to watch that video. Wouldn't you agree? If you want to watch it, just watch it in small chunks, and it will be worth it. So tonight, I'm going to talk about very briefly, see, how important it is to be a difference maker for one person. And I tell everybody all the time, and this is something she said too, that to get to Diamond, to get to the elite in her company, you had to have 4 legs. You can go all the way to the top almost with one. Now you need a little bit of outside. But so being a difference maker for one person, to me, and that was one of the themes of Super Saturday, is not only making a difference in someone's health, which is super important, and my husband's health has been completely transformed, and I hope he shares next week. But being a difference maker in helping people earn income, because if you think about it, and Melissa and I talked about this today, that the number one reason people can't go to sleep at night and are stressed and have anxiety and they have trouble in their marriage and all these reasons, it's usually finances. So if I can teach one person to do what I have done, teach one person to do it, that's a difference maker. So that's what that means to me. Everyone has ups and downs. I will be the first to admit December was a low month. It was expected. When people are choosing between buying Christmas presents for their kids or buying supplements for themselves, they're going to pick Christmas presents every time, and I don't blame them at all. So retail for us is always kind of low in December. I don't know about you, but my points are already up for this month. So we're seeing a rebound in January, so I'm super excited. So everyone has ups and downs, just important to keep moving forward. The themes for 2017, I'm super, super excited. It was Inspire for Super Saturday. I know I was inspired. And I want to talk about convention. It's Believe. And what's so funny is I had sent that out to some of my level 1 rock stars, a little bracelet that said Believe. I had it in my heart already. So I'm super excited that it actually is Believe for this year. Yay! And before I turn it over to the next person to share, I just want to say, if y'all are not friends with Tammy Patron, right there, you want to follow her. She put out the best post yesterday, and I'm seeing it repeated. Megan, you repeated it. It was really, really good. And I'm not sure who's going to cover that little aspect of the talk tonight, but maybe they could include what I'm talking about, that graphic Tammy made that is fantastic. So next we're going to hear from, I got to look at my notes to see who we're going to hear from. Lauren Billings. She is a Senior Gold Ambassador from McCalla, Alabama, that is pretty close to where I live. It's kind of weird that I would have a friendship relationship with somebody that is my level 7. I think she's not 7, but she's close to me. She's actually underneath my daughter-in-law, Chelsea, on her team. And so I've gotten to know Lauren, love Lauren's heart. I love that she just was determined to get to Super Saturday, and she brought her little bun in the oven with her. It's so sweet. And she is an accountant. So her super, super busy time has started. Y'all, she grew her business last year at this time as an accountant. Super busy. So if she can do it, there's no one busier than an accountant during tax season. Wouldn't you agree? So Lauren, go ahead and share your takeaways with us tonight.
Okay, so I think what you suggested is just to go through the 5 destinations. Is that right? So if I get too far on somebody else's, let me know. But I know what Chelsea and Kim are going to talk about is kind of in here, so I won't say that part. But we talked about the Rank Up Roadmap, and that is something that is becoming available soon, if not already, to everybody. I think it's going to be connected to your back office. So what it's going to do is show you how to get to the next rank. And really what they focused on at Super Saturday was the path to silver. So they kind of went over the steps for that, which at first I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be applicable to everybody, but it really was. It was just great basics to revisit anytime. So each time you hit a new rank, you're going to get something unlocked in your Rank Up Roadmap so you can go to the next level. And you'll have videos and training resources. So these are just real quick, the 5 destinations on your Rank Up Roadmap on the path to silver. So the first one was build your vision. And they talked about how you have to have a why if you're going to stay in this business, because we're all going to face hard times like Dathan mentioned before. But if you have a solid why, then you're going to be able to stick with it. And they also talked about how that why changes over time. It might start out to be, I need $500 a month to pay for XYZ. And then later it might change to something else. And so I think we've those of us that have been with Plexus a while have seen that kind of progression in our why. And one thing they pointed out that I thought was so cool is the hardest thing to find when you own your own business is a great product. But we have that. So if you think about that, we didn't have to do anything to get these products. And we know that we've got the best research teams out there that are always looking for the next cutting edge product. So we've already got the hardest part done. So we've just got to define our why, figure out our plan for how we're going to be successful in this business. So that's your why, that's your goals. You've got to make SMART goals. That is specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-specific. So that's just kind of a good thing to follow when you're making your goals. You have to build your belief, and that's belief in the industry of network marketing, which is something I think a lot of us struggle with. I know me being an accountant, I'm a very analytical person, and network marketing was something I always just kind of blew off because I didn't think people really made money doing it. But I've seen that I was very wrong in that. And there are a lot of books out there. Millionaire by Halftime is one that just comes to mind that you can read to really build that belief and also build your knowledge. So if somebody asks you why you believe in that, you can tell them and you won't just say, well, it's because Dathan told me so or Dathan can do it, So then you have to build your belief in the company. And I think that part should be pretty easy for us. So Plexus is just doing things every month that are blowing our minds in how they're progressing and growing as a company. And then belief in yourself, which could be the hardest part. That's something that I have to work on constantly, is just knowing that this can be done. And I really believe that the only way to fail is to quit. So you have to have belief in yourself and stick with it. Our presenters in Birmingham mentioned a quote by Tamara Holloway that said, belief doesn't come from success. Success comes from belief.
Yes.
And I think that's so good because sometimes it's easy to look at people who are ranking up and succeeding in this business and say, well, of course they believe because they've got the paycheck to prove it. But the reason they have the paycheck is because they believed from the beginning and they shared that with everybody else. So with network marketing, our possibilities are limitless. There's so much freedom in how you can do things. And with Plexus, we have access to so many great resources that they've already given us. They mentioned that many successful business people say that if they had to build their wealth again, they would do it through network marketing. And I thought that was really cool. I think even Donald Trump was quoted as saying something like that. So we really have it all with Plexus, and we've just got to make sure that we are building our belief, defining our why, setting our goals, having a vision. They mentioned actually visualizing the ranks that you want to achieve, or the things that you want to be able to do with your income, or the people that you want to be able to help. Visualize that taking place, because until you can do that, it's just kind of a thought swirling around in your mind. And once you visualize it, you really give those thoughts action, be able to turn them into action. So the second destination is you have to create your networking plan. And they said the key word in that is work. It's not something that is just going to happen overnight. So that's creating your Frank's list. If you don't know what that is, get with your upline. I think they even mentioned that specifically in our success kit. So you can reference that if you need a guide to set up your Frank's list. You can't prejudge people. You have to always have this list growing and changing. Don't abandon it, but just add people as you come across new people, or maybe you need to make a note. So-and-so said no, but I think that probably means not right now, so let's follow up with her, in 3 months or something. So just always be adding to that list. They also mentioned picking up business cards of service people, so car salesmen, insurance salesmen, realtors, and expanding your network that way. So I thought that was really cool. They talked about making an elevator speech. I think Chelsea's going to talk about that. Creating your social media plan. I think that's a really important thing to learn about is social media. There's a lot of things about Facebook and Instagram that I didn't know before Plexus because I wasn't really utilizing it a lot. But there's a lot of algorithms in Facebook that determine who sees your post. And so you want to make sure that you are interacting with your non-Plexus audience. That means liking and commenting on their posts, because that's going to connect you guys on Facebook, and so Facebook will then show them more of your posts. So that's something really good to keep in mind. You want to make sure you're posting every day, but you want to mix it up between Plexus and personal. And even your Plexus posts, we always want to be personal. That's one thing they stress is you should really hardly ever throw up a graphic as a Plexus post. We want to make that more like pictures of us with our pink drink, or pictures before and after pictures. When people see a graphic, they tend to scroll right on by. So those were just some good Facebook tips. They also said never be negative on Facebook, because you want to be able to draw people to you. If people are not drawn to that, I think that's really important too. So the next thing is build your Plexus knowledge. So they mentioned you don't have to know everything. In fact, most people that you come across, they don't really want to know the details about the ingredients that are in Slim. They want to know what Slim is going to do for them, what Slim has done for you. So increase your knowledge, but don't worry about having every little detail down. You can learn as you go. You want to make sure that you are teaching your new ambassadors this stuff. Go over their success kit with them. Show them how to get to silver. Be familiar with the compensation plan. Again, you don't have to have every bit of it memorized, but be able to explain that to a potential or a new ambassador. We have a new catalog that just came out, and you can actually go to your back office. I think it's under the tools tab in the shareables, and you can actually get a link to a digital version of that, which I think is great. You can order hard copies and mail them out to people, but sharing that digital link doesn't cost you anything. So anybody can do that. You want to make sure that you are also giving them some info and not just sending them the link when they ask you about Plexus, because that'll just be overwhelming. But it's a great resource to have. Sometimes I explain, here's what I think you would like and why, and if you want to see more details, here's a catalog. We also have to understand the importance of being compliant. That's a really hot topic right now, and the reason that Plexus is focusing on that is because we are a target, because our company has grown so much and is so successful. We have caught the eye of organizations like the FTC and the FDA. You might have some other companies that are up and coming that you might see their ambassadors posting things, and you think, well, how come they can do that and we can't? And that's because they may not be to a level yet where they're getting this recognition. But Plexus is really trying to make sure that we stay safe. And like Datha said, we don't have to have a backup plan because they're doing it the right way. So you just want to make sure that you know what's compliant and what's not. And I think there's information about that in the back office as well. The main thing is you cannot claim the products treat or prevent any disease. So just kind of be aware of that. Number 4 is share Plexus. I think Kim is going to talk about sharing and not selling, and then I think Chelsea's going to talk about telling your story. So, that doesn't have to be a scary thing. You just need to have your own story that you can share with others, and that's what people want to hear. We have to be confident when we do that. We also have to focus on building relationships and not just trying to get a sale. You don't want to lose friends through doing this. I think if you do go about it the right way, they'll know your heart and where you're coming from. Also, following up is important. All the effort you put into sharing is not going to get you anywhere if you don't follow up, because most people that you come across, it's going to take a few times of you contacting them before they actually become a customer or an ambassador. And the 5th destination is exercise healthy business practices. So that's things like getting a running partner, somebody that you can motivate and they can motivate you, getting in a daily routine of doing your IPA, which is your income producing activities, having a balance. You definitely don't want to work this 40 hours a week and kind of take away the freedom that you're supposed to gain through it. That's a big one for me because sometimes I can go over the top. And then they really talked about if you're feeling stuck, ask yourself, how many people have you talked to about Plexus this week? And that one was kind of an ouch for me because there's been so many times where I thought, oh gosh, I've reached out to everybody I can, but then I think, well, when's the last time that I really messaged somebody new? So that's just something to keep in mind. And they also talked about distractions. One thing I thought was really helpful is one of the presenters said, if you get on to message people, go to messenger.com instead of Facebook, because that's just Messenger, and you won't get the notifications that pop up and distract you and make you want to go see what everybody else is doing. So that was a really super fast. I've got a lot more notes than that. So if anybody wants to see copies of these or needs more details about anything, just let me know.
Yes, that was just the high points. I promise you. We were there for 4 hours. So 4 hours was a ton of information. And like I said, it is been recorded and it will be available to us soon. Next, we're going to hear from Kim Phillips. Kim is a senior gold ambassador from Hueytown, Alabama, the same little town I live in, proving that you can have it's just totally ridiculous for people to say it's saturated, because it's absolutely not. Kim's friends are not my friends. A lot of them. Some of them are, but not all of them. So, and we went together to Super Saturday, and she's going to share some things that she took away. Go ahead, Kim.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to talk just for a few minutes about sharing, not selling. I will not do this justice as the girl at the Super Saturday did. She was wonderful. We watched a video. It is actually posted on Blessed by Plexus. It was posted on January the 7th, so be sure and go back and watch that video because it's very entertaining. Her name is Kendra Hall. But she talked about becoming a storyteller, and we need to have 3 stories ready to talk to people about. We need our why story, we need our product story, and we need the opportunity story. Here are just a few takeaways that I have from what she talked about. It's been scientifically proven that storytelling is effective. Storytelling not only affects our heart, but it also affects our brain. The stories, there's been studies on this, and it shows that when you tell a story and you get somebody interacting with you, that there are 2 hormones that are released from your body. One of them is cortisol. That is it increases your focus and your attention. And oxytocin, that's your trust hormone, your empathy and your emotions. Well, what does this have to do with Plexus? When we tell a story, not only do we have their attention, but we also are connecting with them on an emotional level. And that sets us up for success. What does this, the second thing that we need to understand is the power of story.
Can you tell Daddy to come down here?